What's good, everybody? It's your boy Everton. So today we're talking about US Mobile. I've been on the service for a little bit over about a week and a few days now, and it has been an interesting experience. I was actually recommended this by a couple of my viewers that suggested I review it, and so I'm going to talk about it today. Now, this is not a full review, as I haven't had the service long enough to really dig into like the perks and the quirks and the little critiques that I usually have, but I have experienced a lot of what it has to offer. So I'm going to talk about that today and tell you what I really like about it and some of my initial critiques of it. Let's go ahead and get into it. And also, guys, there is a link in the description. If you do want to check out US Mobile, you can definitely click that link in the description of this video. It'll take you right there. So what is US Mobile? US Mobile is a mobile virtual network operator, and they actually offer services based on 2 carriers. Now, you don't have the ability to switch, but at initial sign up, you can actually choose which version is better for you. And then you can switch later throughout the plan as well if you decide to change up. But the services that they offer is something called Warp 5G. Now, Warp 5G is essentially Verizon's service, and that's where you have access to millimeter wave. That's the 5G that's really fast. You can get gigabits internet speeds and higher if you have access to their towers, and that is actually the service that I signed up for. Now, you also do have mid-band or C-band 5G, which is being built up throughout the United States still, but you still do have access to 5G. I have it locally here where I am in San Antonio. Now, the other flavor of 5G that they offer is essentially T-Mobile's services, which is more mid-band, so you don't get access to that millimeter wave ever, but you do get really fast services, fast things that your phone can take advantage of, really, right? Now, when I did sign up for the Warp 5G. I just kind of wanted to test out. It seemed a little bit more interesting to me. And yeah, sign up was pretty easy. I was up and running within a couple minutes, and the call quality, because I did call someone almost immediately, was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. The call service quality was really clear. Anywhere that I had great Verizon service, I had equally great US Mobile service as well. So I was really happy about that. At the same time though, if there's any drop zones for Visible or Verizon, you will also deal with those as well. So it mimics Verizon services to a T, meaning that it adopts the strengths as well, and also whatever flaws it has, it will have to deal with that as well. As far as data is concerned though, this is the one portion that I really have a lot to talk about. So the first thing that I noticed was that when I would try to watch a video on the mobile data, the latency or the delay was non-existent on YouTube. It was something that I was really amazed at. As soon as I tapped the video, it would start playing. And there's something that happens whenever I came over from a major carrier to a prepaid carrier, and I've been testing a lot of prepaid carriers. I've tested, well, Mint Mobile, Visible, and now US Mobile. There's this kind of delay. It's like a slight pause. I wouldn't even say it's too much buffering, although technically that's what it could be considered, but there's like almost a delay when your media starts to play sometimes. And you get used to it. It's not majorly inconveniencing or anything like that, but it's something that you get used to. When I went on US Mobile and things just started to play immediately, I was shocked. Think of it as if like you go up to a building and then you have to go through a door. You can either open the door or you have to like badge in, wait for the beep, and then open the door. It's a slight delay, but one is way more convenient because you can go right through. That's essentially the performance that they have. And it was really amazing. So that is something that I was very happy to see. Also, when I did play videos on YouTube, it would resolve about 90% of the time to 720p when it initially started playing, which is a good thing. Most prepaid carriers, they limit you to 480p, which is standard definition. This also went to 720, which is just high definition. And another thing is that when I bumped it up to 2K, just to test the limitations of it, there was no buffering. I would actually change resolution, fast forward to a later part in the video that wasn't already pre-buffered so that they would have to start at 2K, and it just played. No excessive buffering, it just played as if normal. So I was really happy about that because you do typically deal with that with other companies as well, where you'll get like a slight delay and also you'll get the buffering. Now it's something that I have even ordered a VPN to mask what I do so I can play videos at full resolution without excessive buffering. So it's definitely an issue that exists with most prepaid companies, and even sometimes certain plans with even major carriers. But I'm happy to say that on the Warp 5G, I had no problems with buffering. So another thing that I thought was kind of weird about the service was that, well, I had an eSIM installed on top of my Visible service, because Visible is a carrier that I utilize on on a monthly service. It's my personal service. I'm not testing it out. And I noticed that when I would like move throughout the city in different places, that Visible always had like one bar, or not always, but a lot of times I noticed that there was a delay where Visible would have an extra bar, then I'd stand still for a while, and then US Mobile had another bar, even though they're running on the same service, because Visible is Verizon's own company, and there was a delay when US Mobile would have that service or that level of service. I have this issue at my job where the building that I'm in, we don't get good reception anywhere. I think Mint Mobile is the only one, or T-Mobile is the only one that really can penetrate through it, like most of the time. So once in a while I will have service, but I'll notice that Visible Wireless will get service more often than US Mobile. They're running on the same network, but essentially the Visible service would have maybe one bar and US Mobile would say SOS. It's not a big deal because it was a struggle service to be endorsed anyway, but I did notice that in different spaces that US Mobile didn't have as much service as Visible, which is odd because they use the exact same network or coverage. Now, stepping outside of the service really quickly, I want to talk about their app experience. Now, the app experience is really good compared to some of the other apps I've seen on other prepaid carriers. Now, the one thing that they really excel in is the data usage history and also call usage and text messages. Now, this is a big deal because, it shows you over days how much data that you're using on average, how many calls that you're making, and how many text messages that you're using. Now, for me personally, the way I find this to be useful is to be able to gauge if I'm on the right plan, or to understand how I'm using my data so I can make the best decision for, a month-to-month plan. If I'm in a place where I added a new app and maybe it's a rogue app that is eating up a lot of data, I can see, hey, Tuesday I installed some app, or, and it was eating up a lot of data in the background. It can help me play detective a little bit, and not only that, get a better understanding of how I use my data so I can make the best decision for myself going forward. So my overall impression is that I am super happy with the service so far. I do have to test out the T-Mobile side of things and how that is. I'm also gonna call customer service and check out how their customer service is. I do like the fact that they do have a customer service phone number. It doesn't have to be initiated through chat only, so very happy about that. But I'm gonna test out all these things, but for now, I am very happy because the latency is non-existent, data speeds are super fast, and the call quality is super clear. I did get a couple spam messages, but that is to be expected sometimes once you inherit someone else's number. But at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do to essentially get rid of that. So do me a favor, guys, leave any questions that you have about the service so that when I do my full review, I can make sure I can cover those items. All right, well, until next time, I'm Everton and I do videos Everton's way. Peace.